Have you ever felt like you're holding on to everything so tightly that you're losing yourself? What would happen if you let go of that constant grip you have on life? Could it be the key to finding peace, joy, and freedom? Hello and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, we're so glad to have you join us. At Son.Mindfulness, we share insightful lessons and practices to help you achieve a life of calm and balance. Today, we're diving into a topic that is so relevant for many of us in today's fast-paced world. We often hear about stress, anxiety, and the overwhelming pressure of trying to control every part of our lives. But what if the secret to finding peace lies in the simple yet profound act of letting go? Buddhist teachings offer a deep wisdom on this, showing us how releasing our attachments can lead to spiritual awakening and true freedom. In this video, we'll explore why letting go isn't about giving up, but about finding your true strength. We'll uncover how spiritual awakening is often born from releasing the need to control, allowing life to unfold as it should. And you'll learn how Buddhist teachings can guide you to a peaceful, fulfilling life, free from the chains of fear and attachment. Does this sound like something you need in your life right now? If so, stay with us until the end of the video. We promise you'll walk away with powerful insights that can transform how you see life and how you interact with the world around you. We invite you to subscribe to Son.Mindfulness so you don't miss out on our future videos. Join us on this journey of mindfulness, peace, and spiritual awakening. Let's dive deeper into how letting go can unlock your true potential. Now, let's explore the powerful lessons ahead and discover the freedom that comes when you finally release what's holding you back. Lesson 1: The illusion of control and the power of letting go. Have you ever felt like your life was in a constant state of urgency, trying to control every detail? It might feel like if you just work a little harder, manage your relationships just right, or ensure everything stays exactly how you want it, you'll find peace. But have you noticed how tiring this is? How often it leads to stress, worry, and exhaustion instead of peace? This is the illusion of control. The truth is, no matter how tightly we grip life, things will still change. It's in our nature to try to control, to hold on to what we value. But the more we try to control, the more we lose our sense of peace. It's like trying to hold on to sand in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. In Buddhist teachings, there is a concept called detachment. Attachment is the cause of suffering. When we attach ourselves too strongly to people, outcomes, or things, we create unnecessary stress. We fear losing what we hold dear. We feel anxious about what might happen if things go wrong. But the reality is, what you cling to is what you lose. Letting go isn't about giving up, but about releasing the things that no longer serve us, allowing life to flow in its natural course. Think about the job you're so afraid of losing. Does it bring you joy, or does it cause constant worry? What about the relationship you're trying so hard to keep alive, even when it feels like it's already slipping away? Or that image of yourself you're so desperate to protect, always comparing yourself to others? All of these things can exhaust you because you've woven them into your idea of survival. You feel like if you let go of any of these, something terrible will happen. But what if letting go isn't giving up? What if instead, letting go is where true wisdom and spiritual awakening begin? One of the most powerful lessons Buddhist teachings offer is about non-attachment. This doesn't mean you stop caring or withdrawing from life. It means letting life unfold without binding it to your expectations. You are here to experience life, not to own it. When you let go of your need for control, you allow life to flow with ease. Take a moment and look back at your life. How much time have you spent overthinking situations, trying to manage what others think, or worrying about problems that may never come? How did it feel? Did it bring you peace, or did it only create more stress? Perhaps it's time to try something different. Imagine waking up tomorrow and for just one day, you choose not to interfere. Instead of scripting every moment, you simply breathe, observe, and respond with presence. You respond, not react. You respond with calm rather than control. And you ask yourself, what am I so afraid will happen if I let go today? Most of the time, the answer isn't real danger, it's discomfort. But discomfort is the sacred doorway to growth. That job you didn't get? Maybe it wasn't aligned with your deeper purpose. That relationship that ended? Maybe it was meant to be a chapter, not the entire story. Life is always whispering guidance, but when we resist, it's hard to hear. When you let go, life doesn't fall apart. It falls into place. Not where you imagined, but often where your soul has been waiting to arrive. Letting go is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the courage to trust the river instead of fighting its current. Next time you catch yourself tightening with worry, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this worth the weight I'm carrying? Then loosen your grip, even if just a little. Allow trust to flow in and see what unfolds before you. A wise monk once said, "Peace does not mean to be in a place without noise, trouble, or hard work. Peace means to be in the midst of those things and remain calm in your heart." That calm is not born from control, it is born from trust. What if letting go is the doorway to the peace you've been seeking all along? What if the version of yourself you're trying so hard to force is not the one you're meant to become? Perhaps surrender is the most powerful act you could ever choose. Remember this gentle truth. If you wish to soar high in the sky, you must first release your hold on the ground. If you wish to move forward, you must loosen your grip on the past that anchors you. Let go, and let life meet you where you're meant to be. Next, we will explore Lesson 2, the paradox of detachment, finding strength through release. In this section, we will discover how letting go is not about giving up, but about finding true power through release. Lesson 2, the paradox of detachment, finding strength through release. Have you ever been told that letting go makes you weak? That if you stop trying so hard, you'll lose control and everything will fall apart? This is the common misconception about detachment, thinking it's the same as giving up. But in reality, detachment is one of the most powerful tools for finding true strength. In fact, Buddhist teachings tell us that detachment is the key to living a peaceful and fulfilled life. It's not about withdrawing from life, but about releasing the need to control every outcome. And this paradox, how letting go leads to greater strength, can transform the way you experience life. Think of a kite soaring through the sky. It doesn't fly because someone holds the string tightly and pulls it in every direction. No, it soars because there is freedom in the release. The kite rises when the string is loosened just enough to let the wind carry it. This is the essence of detachment. The more you loosen your grip, the more freedom and peace you create in your life. We often associate strength with holding on tightly. But true strength comes when you can stand in the face of uncertainty without clinging to outcomes. Buddhist teachings emphasize that true freedom comes from embracing the natural flow of life. When we release our desperate need to control everything around us, we become stronger, not weaker. It's a shift from fear-driven control to trust-driven presence. Let's think about someone who is constantly trying to prove their worth. Perhaps it's a leader, constantly working harder and harder, trying to maintain control of every decision, every action, every person. They might appear strong, but inside, they're exhausted. Their strength comes from fear, the fear of failure, of losing their position, of not being enough. But when that leader learns to let go, to trust in others, and to allow things to unfold naturally, they find a new type of power, one that is rooted in wisdom, not in fear. This is what spiritual awakening looks like. The realization that strength isn't about holding on, but about allowing yourself to be vulnerable and trusting the journey. Now think about your own life. What are you clinging to right now? A relationship that feels suffocating? A job that drains you instead of fulfilling you? An image of yourself that doesn't align with who you really are? These attachments don't make you stronger. They make you weaker because you're constantly at war with life. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you become indifferent or uncaring. It means you care deeply, but you no longer force things to be exactly as you want them. It's about being present and fully engaged in life without desperately clinging to any specific outcome. When you stop forcing things, you allow space for true peace and joy to flow into your life. Imagine for a moment that you are carrying a heavy backpack, full of rocks. Each rock is an attachment, something you're holding onto too tightly. Perhaps it's an old wound, an unfulfilled dream, or a past regret. The more you hold on to these attachments, the heavier the backpack gets. But when you begin to let go, to release the rocks one by one, the weight lightens. Your steps become easier, and you feel free to move forward. This is the power of detachment. One of the greatest misconceptions about detachment is that it means you'll lose your sense of purpose. But in reality, detachment allows you to find your true purpose, aligned with your soul's journey. When we stop controlling, we stop pushing against the current. Instead, we start flowing with it, discovering new possibilities and paths that we never imagined. Buddhist teachings also remind us that nothing is permanent. We hold on to people, situations, and identities, thinking they will give us security. But everything in life is impermanent, and that's where the beauty lies. When you let go, you open yourself to the present moment. You become more connected to the now and to the life around you. This is when real spiritual awakening happens, when we stop holding on to the past or trying to control the future and start embracing the life we are living right now. Next time you feel yourself tightening your grip on something, pause. Ask yourself, what would happen if I let go? What if this release is the exact thing you need to discover your strength? You don't need to control the outcome. You just need to trust the process. Next, we will explore Lesson 3, How to Love Without Suffocating. In this section, we will discuss how to care deeply for others without strangling them with expectations. Letting go of the need to control is essential in relationships, and we will see how love can flourish when it is allowed to breathe freely. Lesson 3. How to Love Without Suffocating. Have you ever loved someone so much that you became afraid of losing them? Have you ever cared for something so deeply that it started to consume you? It's natural to want to protect those we love, but sometimes our love can become possessive. We hold on too tightly, fearing that if we let go, we might lose them. But have you ever stopped to consider this? Is that really love, or is it fear? The truth is, Buddhist teachings show us that love isn't about control. True love is about freedom, space, and trust. In our relationships, we often confuse care with control. We want the best for those we love, but in our desire to protect them, we might end up suffocating them. Think of a parent who constantly hovers over their child, trying to fix every little thing. While the intention is to love, the result is often frustration for both the parent and the child. The child feels as though they can't breathe, and the parent is left exhausted by the constant effort. This is where the paradox of love and detachment comes in. To truly love, we must learn to let go of the need to control. Letting go of control doesn't mean you stop caring. It means that you trust the person you love to grow, to learn, and to navigate their own journey. This can be incredibly difficult, especially for those of us who have a strong need to protect and help. We often feel like if we don't intervene, things will fall apart. But what if letting go is exactly what they need? What if, in giving them space, you allow them to discover their own strength, their own path? This is one of the most profound lessons of spiritual awakening. Realizing that love doesn't need to control, it needs to allow. Think of the image of a plant growing in a garden. If you constantly pull on the plant, trying to help it grow faster, you might damage it. But when you allow the plant the space to grow naturally, you see it flourish in its own time. This is what true love looks like. It's about providing support and encouragement, but not trying to force the outcome. Love doesn't thrive in suffocation. It thrives in freedom. In Buddhist teachings, one of the core principles is the idea of non-attachment. It's about allowing things to be as they are without trying to control them. This applies to our relationships as well. When we let go of the need to have everything go according to our desires, we allow love to flow freely. Think about a time when you loved someone but were holding on too tightly. Did it bring you peace, or did it create tension and stress? Now think about a time when you let go of the need to control and simply allowed love to be. Did that bring more peace, more connection? This lesson isn't just about how we love others, it's also about how we love ourselves. When we are constantly judging ourselves, constantly trying to fix our flaws, we are not truly loving ourselves. True self-love comes from accepting ourselves as we are, without the need for constant improvement. It's about letting go of the self-criticism and giving ourselves space to grow naturally. When we love ourselves in this way, we create the foundation for loving others in the same way, freely and without control. Spiritual awakening often comes when we realize that the best way to love is through acceptance, not possession. We no longer need to control or manipulate the people in our lives to feel secure in our love for them. Instead, we trust in their journey and allow them to be who they are. When you can love freely, without the weight of expectation, that's when your relationships deepen. And when you can let go of your own need to be perfect, that's when you begin to truly love yourself. So how can we practice letting go in our relationships? First, we can start by being aware of when we are trying to control. Are you holding on too tightly to someone? Are you worried that if you don't intervene, they will make a mistake? Take a deep breath and remind yourself, letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means allowing the other person the freedom to grow. It's about trust. Trust in them and trust in the process. Letting go in love is not about distance or detachment. It's about allowing space for the other person to breathe. It's about releasing the fear of losing them and instead giving them the freedom to find their own path. The more we let go, the more we make room for love to flourish, for growth to happen, and for true connection to emerge. Next, we will explore Lesson 4, Finding True Strength Through Letting Go. In this section, we'll dive deeper into how letting go isn't about weakness. It's about discovering your true inner strength through release. Lesson 4, Finding True Strength Through Letting Go. What if I told you that true strength doesn't come from holding on tightly, but from letting go? Does that sound counterintuitive? After all, we've been taught to push through, to fight for what we want, to never give up. But what if the greatest act of strength is the courage to release? Buddhist teachings show us that real power comes not from control, but from surrendering to the flow of life. It's about trusting that everything will unfold as it should, without the need for constant intervention. Think about a time when you were holding on to something, whether it was a relationship, a goal, or a belief that was no longer serving you. At first, you might have believed that holding on was the only way to stay strong. But the more you tried to hold tight, the more exhausted you became. You felt trapped, your energy drained, and you realized that your strength was fading. What if, instead of gripping harder, you had let go? What if you had released the pressure and trusted the process? This is the strength of letting go. The power to trust that life will carry you exactly where you need to be. Let's consider the analogy of a river. Imagine you're trying to swim upstream, fighting against the current with all your might. It's exhausting. You feel like you're getting nowhere. But if you let go and allow the current to carry you, you'll find that it takes you exactly where you need to go, without the struggle. In Buddhist teachings, this is what we call the way of the river, learning to move with the current of life, not against it. It's a practice of detachment, where we stop fighting against what is and instead flow with what comes. This doesn't mean you stop acting or stop striving toward your goals. It means that you let go of the need for control over every single outcome. It means that you trust that your efforts will lead to the right results, even if they don't look exactly like you imagined. True strength comes from understanding that you don't have to force things into being. Life is unfolding as it should, and sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to release your grip and trust the process. Consider the strength of a tree in the forest. A tree doesn't force its growth. It doesn't push against the elements. It grows naturally, reaching for the sunlight, deeply rooted in the earth, yet flexible in the wind. This is how true strength works. It's about being deeply rooted in your beliefs and values, yet open to the changes that come. It's about being strong enough to bend with the wind, but never break. Buddhist teachings highlight that we often hold on to things because we believe they define us. Our career, our relationships, our success. We think that if we let go, we will lose ourselves. But the truth is, when we let go of these attachments, we actually make room for our true self to emerge. Spiritual awakening comes when we realize that we are not our possessions, our achievements, or even our failures. We are the quiet presence beneath it all, and when we let go of the external, we can tap into that inner strength. Think about a time in your life when you finally let go of something you were holding on to. Perhaps it was a job, a relationship, or a belief that no longer served you. When you let go, did you feel weaker? Or did you feel a sense of freedom, clarity, and strength? That's the paradox of letting go. You think it will make you weaker, but in reality it makes you stronger. It frees up energy for new opportunities, new growth, and new possibilities. Letting go doesn't mean you stop trying. It doesn't mean you give up on your dreams. It means you stop forcing, stop controlling, and start trusting the journey. When you let go, you allow life to guide you toward your true path. You stop struggling against the current and start flowing with it. And in that flow, you find a deeper strength than you could ever have imagined. Spiritual awakening isn't about escaping life's challenges. It's about embracing them with an open heart and mind. It's about accepting what is, even when it's hard, and trusting that everything is happening for a reason. The strength you're searching for isn't outside of you. It's within you, waiting to be unlocked when you finally let go. So, what would happen if you stopped fighting against life and started trusting it instead? What if you let go of the need to control every outcome and allowed life to unfold naturally? Imagine how much lighter you'd feel, how much freer you'd become. The strength to move forward lies not in control, but in letting go. Release the pressure, trust the process, and watch as life meets you where you're meant to be. Next, we will explore Lesson 5, Why Letting Go is the Key to True Freedom. In this section, we will dive deeper into how letting go unlocks a freedom that goes beyond external circumstances. It's the freedom that comes from living in alignment with your true self. Lesson 5, Why Letting Go is the Key to True Freedom. Do you ever feel like you're constantly chasing something just out of reach? Like no matter how hard you work, you're never quite free? We often think that freedom comes from external achievements, getting that job, reaching a goal, or having a perfect relationship. But Buddhist teachings remind us that true freedom doesn't come from what we have or what we do. It comes from what we release. Freedom is not about having control over everything around us. In fact, the more we try to control, the more we find ourselves trapped. We may think that control will bring us safety, but in reality, it binds us to fear. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of being unworthy. These fears keep us locked in a cage of our own making, preventing us from experiencing true freedom. But what if true freedom is found in letting go? What if freedom doesn't come from achieving more, but from releasing what no longer serves us? This is a central teaching in Buddhist teachings, that the path to freedom lies in letting go of attachments, expectations, and the need to control. When we let go, we stop holding on to the past, stop obsessing about the future, and stop trying to control every detail. In doing so, we make space for clarity, peace, and a deep sense of inner freedom. Consider the idea of being anchored to the past. Maybe you're holding on to old wounds, past regrets, or a version of yourself that no longer fits. The more tightly you cling to those memories, the more you are chained by them. You can't move forward if you're constantly looking behind you, tied to who you used to be. But when you let go of the past, you free yourself to live fully in the present, with all its possibilities and opportunities. True spiritual awakening happens when you stop holding on to outdated beliefs, toxic relationships, or the need to be perfect. It's about embracing the unknown, trusting that what lies ahead is exactly what you need, even if you can't see it yet. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about surrendering to the flow of life and trusting that everything will unfold as it should. This doesn't mean you stop caring or that you become passive. It means you stop resisting the natural rhythms of life. When you let go of resistance, you allow life to carry you to where you're meant to be. Think about the weight you carry, whether it's the weight of expectations, fear of failure, or the pressure to be perfect. What if you released some of that weight? What if you stopped carrying the burden of everyone's approval, or the fear of what might happen if you fail? By letting go of these attachments, you would create space for your true self to emerge. You would experience a freedom that comes from simply being who you are, without the need for external validation or control. Buddhist teachings guide us to understand that freedom is not found in the absence of challenges, but in how we respond to them. When we are no longer tied down by the need for control, we respond with grace, ease, and wisdom. We don't resist life. We engage with it fully, from a place of deep peace. The more we release our attachment to outcomes, the more we experience a freedom that comes from within. So, how do we begin to let go? It starts with small steps. The next time you feel the urge to control, pause. Ask yourself, what would happen if I let go of the need to control this situation? Release the grip, even if it's just a little. Trust that by letting go, you will make space for something better to enter your life. This is how true freedom unfolds. When we stop fighting, stop resisting, and simply allow life to flow. When you let go, you create a life where you are free to be yourself, free to love without fear, and free to live without the weight of unnecessary attachments. This is true freedom, not the absence of challenges, but the ability to face them with an open heart, trusting in the journey ahead. Next, we will explore the conclusion. In this section, we will summarize the powerful lessons learned about letting go and how embracing this practice leads to inner peace, freedom, and a life lived with purpose. Conclusion. We have journeyed together through the profound teachings of letting go and the true freedom it brings. By releasing control, we not only find peace but also open up a new way of living more fully. Through Buddhist teachings, we learn that attachment to the past, expectations, or relationships that no longer serve us only creates more suffering. Instead, spiritual awakening occurs when we learn to let go, to live lightly, and not be bound by what is past. Remember that letting go is not about giving up, but about the wisdom of accepting what cannot be changed and trusting in life. As you practice these lessons, you will realize that letting go is the path to true freedom. It is the strength not found in control, but in acceptance and living in the present. Thank you for watching and embracing these valuable lessons. Congratulations on recognizing the importance of letting go and how Buddhist teachings can bring about spiritual awakening in your life. Now, how will you apply what you've learned in your everyday life? Are you ready to challenge yourself, to live with more ease, and to let your relationships become lighter and freer? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories and experiences. If you found these lessons helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the Son.Mindfulness channel to continue receiving valuable insights and inspiration. We're always here to support you on this journey. Finally, I wish you good health, peace, and happiness. Remember, with each step you take on this path, you're moving closer to a more free and fulfilled life. Let letting go guide you, and let spiritual awakening light your way. Thank you.